Hello everyone and welcome to Tabor Talk. I'm your host, Michael Tabor. I am freezing. We live in the mountains here, the Catskills, so it's only October 15th. Talk to me in a couple of months. How about January? We moved here earlier this year, January 28th. And my God, it was like, it snowed every day. And it was like, you couldn't even walk out. It was sub-zero. It was crazy. So the pros and cons of living in the Catskills, on a mountain, on a log cabin. So we have not been here for a full winter. We were only here since, let's see, January 28th. So February, March, April. It snowed 2 months after Easter. I mean, it was like we waited so long for the summer to come. We really didn't have a spring. And the summer, what's so awesome was I heard, my mother lives in New Jersey, and she said, boy, it was a really hot summer. I was like, really? Like, maybe 1 or 2 humid days, but never really uncomfortable. We don't even have air conditioner. Like, for the summer, we don't have an air conditioner. We don't need it. You know, just a fan. It's just so awesome living here. But talk to me in January and February. I'm like, oh my God, why did I move here? I mean, you got to see the snow, like 6, 7, 8 feet. It's crazy. You know, I just dropped, I have gloves on. Hold on. Let me grab my other glove. All right. So, well, let me take this off because I want to read this. I get some really awesome comments on my YouTube channel. I get some stupid shit from the morons, you know, like Trump supporters. They say I'm crazy. Okay, all right, that's fine. You know, but I have some really cool people here. And this guy made a really interesting point. He says, the thing is, I talked about how Trump, like you find out who people really are, right? Or you're a Trump supporter. Oh, you're actually a dick. I've been friends with you, or I thought I was friends with you, for like 10 years. And you like Donald Trump. You're a dick. You're an asshole. You know, I don't want to be friends with you anymore, right? And you're not that smart. You know, I mean, there are people I know who support Trump who have good jobs. They have college and, you know, they're executives. And I'm like, you're not stupid. You can't be stupid. I know you're not. I'm friends with you. You're not stupid. You're just a fucking douche. There's something wrong. Okay, so I want to jump right into this. And this is such a great point. He says, I'll just give a shout out. Animus Flux. He's awesome. I love his comments. They're so right on the mark, right? So he says, the thing is that it's not just Trump. It's all the people who support and protect him, whether doing so blindly or purposely to maintain power. And he goes on, there's something bigger going on. And I totally agree. Something is happening. Something terrible and scary is happening. Has been happening for a long time. In fact, you know, I'm a big Barack Obama fan. I supported him his 2 terms. Listen, I know he had some issues, but I love the man. He was very special. He's a big hero of mine. Something was happening back then, too. Something underneath. There was this division, and then things had come to a head, and in 2016, the election, and I hate to say this, but we are heading towards the Civil War. I mean, I'm a history buff. I really love the Civil War. I've read a lot, more than most people on the Civil War. I love it. I sort of romanticize it. It is brutal. By the way, I just saw Ken Burns's, I digress, but Ken Burns's Civil War again for like the 3rd time. Oh my God, what a masterpiece. But really, that division, it's the same sort of thing. Now, what's going to happen? I don't know. I think if some really huge news event, something really big, like a terrorist attack or something weird. Now, guess who's smiling from ear to ear? The Russians. What do you think? They planned this whole thing. Without the Russians, Trump would not be president. That's a whole another video. That happened. Yep. They fucked with our election. And there's so many great podcasts that Sam Harris has done. I forget her name. About how she followed this. All these trolls on Facebook. It was all fake accounts. Fake Trump account supporters. They were all Russians. And they would, what the Russians want is division. They want civil war in the United States. They want us to go after. So they would set up a fake Trump mega account. And then they would set up a fake Antifa account. And then a Black Lives Matter. It's all Russians. Black Lives Matter. They're Russians. And then pro-life and then anti-abortion. And then they would all set it up. They fucked with us. They played us really well. They played Trump perfectly. And that's exactly, they're looking at us from the sidelines. They go, hey, United States, how do you like it? Your country is going down the tubes. Total chaos. How do you like having a madman, an incompetent madman as the president? What do you think he did to us? The Russians will say. There's a couple of years ago, great 60 Minutes piece on this. And they were like, how could you meddle with our elections? He goes, oh, really? Really? You can't be that naive. You don't think your government ever fucked with us? You can't. How does it feel? How does it feel to have Trump as your president and total chaos? All right. So it is interesting. What's going on is much bigger than Trump. I was going to start out something a little less heavy. I was going to talk about, I've been following Trump since the 80s, by the way. And he's a different man. He totally is. I mean, he's always been a dick. And I was never once impressed with him. Never impressed with him. I thought there's something lacking. He's not well read, you know. But he was a different man. He was like, he was a playboy. And then he was always sort of a joke. Like he married Ivana, right? Is it Ivana or Ivanka? Ivanka's the daughter, right? Ivana Trump, and then he divorced her, and then he had Marla Maples. So there was this in-between thing, and he was like a gossip guy. He was always in the Post and Daily News, and who was her name from the New York Post? Cindy Adams. She was the gossip columnist, and she would call in, and the women liked him, actually. Like, women find him repulsive now because he's so gross. Big fat fuck who's fucking monster. But when Trump was young, I'll call a spade a spade. Trump was very handsome. He was tall. He wasn't fat like he was. Let me show you a picture of him. I don't know if you young people know this. Trump has always been a big deal, you know? They didn't, you know, like he's always been like this arrogant. He always had this ego sort of thing. But let me just bring up a young Donald Trump, young. Okay, so let me, and I'm sure, I mean, you had to, like, look at what he was like. Here he is with this, oh, he looks kind of goofy there. Boy, he looks like a doofus. Oh, look at his teeth. That's his father, you know. By the way, he got everything from Fred. Fred Trump had all the contacts and everything. I'm not going to say that Fred Trump focused in New York, the boroughs, though. It was really Queens and the Bronx and, you know, Brooklyn, mostly Queens, then the Bronx. But oh my God, I'm just looking at these pictures. And he really didn't want to get into Manhattan. That was Donald, this one. He did. And by the way, he's not a major player. I talked about this a lot. He was not Robert Moses. But here is some of the pictures here. All right. So, all right. I'm almost 10 minutes. I'll do another video on this. But you see, he wasn't this raging asshole when he was totally arrogant and an egomaniac and all that. But he was kind of a ladies' man. It's weird, because he's just the opposite. He's this fat fucking gross guy. All right. Who sounds like a drunk, right? And he doesn't drink. That's weird. He sounds like a drunk who doesn't drink. All right. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Oh, let me do it with this hand. Peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk.